Hi Aries, welcome to your January 2020 Astrology 33 bonus love reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, if you're watching this when I first posted, I actually won't be offering personal readings at that time, but when we actually physically do roll into the month of January, I will open those readings back up again. So just check out the description of the video for more information on that. As far as what we have in front of us, this is what I call the bridge and the gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection, and then these are the past energies, present energies, future energies. And once we get through those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards to attempt to gain some additional insight into the situation. And then as far as the cards being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot. On the right side, we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. All right, so with that out of the way, past energy. On your side, we have the Seven of Staves. So this is actually the Seven of Wands equivalent in traditional tarot. And this is actually a Leo energy. So there's actually a few different things I could see coming out from this energy. One could be saying that maybe you had a lot of love offers coming in the past and you just weren't really interested in them. Another way this could be playing out too could just be saying that maybe there was some conflict or accusations that might have taken place in the past. And the reason I could say that could be the case is in the past energy on their side, we have the Seven of Swords. So Seven of Swords is actually an Aquarius energy, so I do have to say, given that we have the Seven of Staves and Seven of Swords, this could even represent a timeline, which could be saying that maybe for some of you, when we had the full moon in Leo earlier this year, that might have been when all of this stuff was taking place. But yeah, the Seven of Swords energy usually represents deception, and sometimes it can definitely point to infidelity. And then here, even it looks like, and I think the description for this deck as well for the Seven of Swords is just more about a disconnect, where you guys just haven't gotten on the same page yet. It doesn't necessarily have to point to any infidelity. So it can be, like I said, for some of you, it might have even been false accusations on either side, where maybe, again, maybe they accused you of infidelity and that wasn't the case. Because the Seven of Wands energy usually does represent successfully defending yourself. And for others of you, maybe this was someone who you did find out had a wandering eye, and maybe because of that, you were trying to, get them, keep them away from you because you didn't obviously want any part of that, right? So that could be the way it's playing out for some of you as well. But yeah, it's definitely interesting that we do see the Seven of Wands and Seven of Swords, given, like I said, they pretty much are directly opposite each other in the zodiac. Last 10 degrees Leo, last 10 degrees of Aquarius. So definitely could point to that full moon for some of you. And that would make sense too, as far as now, as we get towards the end of January, we'll be getting back into Aquarius season. So we might see things from a different angle now, pretty much the opposite angles of the situation. Present energy on your side, we have the Ten of Arrows and the King of Arrows. So more Aquarius energy here. So this can just be, again, pointing to the person you're dealing with, which could be saying that there could have been an Aquarius that was deceptive with you and you had to cut them off because of that. Because here we see with the Ten of Arrows energy, obviously an ending. And then with the King of Arrows being an Aquarius energy, this could just be saying that that's who you ended things with, right? If we put the two together. Ten of Swords, King of Arrows. And especially if you look at the fact of the body language too, this person's clearly looking away from the spread, right? So they're looking away from the cards on that side. This could definitely just represent that, maybe you guys found out about some deception. If this isn't just pointing to a timeline strictly, it could just be saying that maybe even for some of you around when we had that Gemini full moon recently, that might have been when it came to light. And, given that that was in your house of communication, and maybe due to that, that was why you actually ended up cutting this person off. That could be what's going on there. And, I mean, let me see. Another way it could be playing out for some of you is that maybe you ended something with this person and now you're seeing things from a higher vantage point. Because if we look at them, it's like they're sitting up in the clouds there, right? So that could be the way it's playing out for at least some of you. Because, like I said, in some cases, it can be that there was actually false accusations around infidelity in the past. So something to keep in mind there. Present energy on their side, we have the Temperance card. So this is actually a major arcana card of Sagittarius. And for one, it could just be pointing to the fact that we have plenty of energy going through there, right? Especially Mars. Mars will be moving into Sagittarius early in January. So it could just be pointing to that. But this can't even just be saying that now that this person could just be drinking a lot. If we look at the artwork there, right, it looks like she's pouring something into a glass to drink. So, it could just be saying that maybe they're drinking a lot now because of the breakup. Obviously, it looks like they wouldn't have been happy with it if that's the case. And this is also a card of balance, too. So this could just be saying that some of them are actually trying to figure out a way to restore balance in the connection, right? Especially, obviously, if they were the ones who did something wrong. Or if it was around false accusations and they realize that now, maybe that's them trying to come in and fix the situation. And for a very small percentage of you too, I will say that for some of you, they might even be trying to do a little magic to get the situation back on track. I do have to at least put that out there. So that's going to be for a very small percentage of you, of course, but I did see that in the artwork, so wanted to mention it. Future energy, we have the Five of Cups and the Nine of Coins. So, for some of you, if this was an actual false accusation thing, and put it this way, I feel if it was a false accusation, when we get to this point here, that would come to light. Somehow, some way, a fact would come out that, that's not actually what happened. So, let's just say that. So if you don't have any actual facts to say that no, this didn't happen, then that's probably not your scenario, and there probably was actual deception. So just wanted to clear that up. So in other words, if they just come back and say no, I didn't do it, then all right, probably they actually did. But if you actually have concrete evidence that there was false accusations, then this could be how the energy is playing out for you, which is to say you might be disappointed that you guys ended the connection and that you're single, right? And for others of you, where if you know for a fact that there actually was deception, this could just be saying that you're disappointed in it, but as time passes on, you're actually going to be a lot more happy and enjoying your single life, basically, because you realize, all right, clearly that wasn't the connection for me, right? So it could play out either way. Like I said, if it's just as simple as they say no, I didn't do it, that's a little shaky. I would say they probably did, but if there's actual evidence to support that, oh wait, this was all misunderstanding, then that could be just you being disappointed that things ended. Future energy on their side, we have the Knight of Swords. So this is actually a Gemini energy. So that's your house of communication, right? So given that it's in the future, it might not be pointing to that full moon that we did have there, but this could just be saying that this is their energy in general, that maybe now they're trying to come back in and gain control over the situation, right? Because usually the Knight of Swords energy represents that energy of rushing back in and communicating. So again, like I said, for some of you, it looks like they're trying to get things back on track with you and making that effort. But if there was actual, deception there, it looks like you guys aren't going to be interested in that. But this could just be saying that maybe they're trying to control the way things are perceived, or maybe you just viewed them as controlling in general too, and maybe that could have even been why you guys might have split up in the past. But that's what I'm seeing there. And then bottom of the decks on your side, interesting, we have Judgment, which is actually a card of energy coming back around, but it's interesting that the Fool card fell out right underneath that. And the keyword for that card in this deck is innocence, so it's pretty funny. Not to absolve all of you, but I would say that's almost confirmation that in the situation, if you guys are the ones falsely accused, then obviously we see some support for that there. And like I said, maybe that's really what it was. There was a misunderstanding around that full moon. Maybe things blew out of proportion, and maybe now they are, trying to fix things, right? That could be how it's playing out for some of you, but not all. And then the bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Ace of Chalices, and interestingly enough, underneath that, we have the Magician. So for those of you where I was saying, for some of you, this could even represent them trying to do some magic to get things back on track. Definitely a little confirmation there too. So interesting cards at the bottom of the deck on both sides, I will say, but let's see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. So first I'll see if we get any messages from the Mystic Moon Oracle deck here. For those of you who haven't seen this type of reading from me before, I actually do pre-shuffle this deck before we start recording. And then here I'm just looking for jumpers. So first I'll be looking for any unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And what I'll do is I'll shuffle for a while. If no cards come up, I just take that as a sign to keep it moving, since it's just a general reading. But in the personal readings, I always do pull cards for both positions, if you're curious. Alright, so let's see if we have any unspoken messages from you to them. Alright, nothing coming up there, but now we'll see if we have any unspoken messages from them to you. Alright, nothing coming up there either, so let's move on to the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. So here we're just looking for one card, same situation here too. I did pre-shuffle this deck. So let's see what we get. Alright, nothing coming up yet, so I'll shuffle for a little longer. Worst case with this deck, if we don't get anything, I will pull a card randomly if no jumpers come up, but I'll shuffle a little longer, see if we get any. Alright, nothing there, so what we'll do, give me a second, and we'll just pull one from there. Alright, let's see, we got Orphaned. Alright, so that at the very least makes me think of what we were saying, where it looks like there was definitely some kind of disconnection, whether that was you cutting it off because there was some infidelity or whatever the situation, but we'll see what the actual messages say there. Okay, it says a sense of loss, an identity crisis, recognizing that you don't fit in, the need to belong, uncertainty about your place. So the uncertainty about your place, again, could be the same thing. Like I said, if there was multiple people in the picture for this person, then maybe I had to cut things off with them because of that, but we'll see what else it says. It says we were all meant to have connections with other people, within our families, society, and the larger culture. No man is an island, and it's important to recognize when being a part of, rather than separate from, is essential to your well-being. The issue at hand is the need to find where you fit. Be true to your core truths and values. Perhaps you no longer identify with a group or community the way you did before, and need to find a new situation. You might be feeling a deep sense of loss or confusion. Address the need for belonging and know that you will find your place with others of like mind and spirit. It's okay to let go of pressure to fit in. Not everyone will understand you. It's time to move on. So, interesting there. Not necessarily, I didn't get a huge vibe of that, although I will say the Aquarius energy that we do see here can pertain to groups and whatnot. But maybe this could even just be saying that this is the type of person they are, where maybe they do try to talk you into, like let's say that this is just how they are with relationships. They believe in having multiple partners and they're trying to get you to come along to that too. And you're like, yeah, that's not really my thing, right? That could be one way it's coming out there. Maybe that's what the Knight of Swords is pointing to as well, saying that, they're trying to control the narrative with you too. The relationship message says, as you shift and evolve and commit to your own growth, you long for support, but may be disappointed and hurt by others who are not providing what you feel you deserve. Perhaps you are drifting away from this relationship because you're in a different stage of personal growth. Perhaps you are in a new relationship and discovering that you don't share the same values and beliefs, so you feel left out, unable to get to that intimate place of safety and belonging. Take heart, as Spirit knows you and loves you and will steer you in the direction of those who accept you as you are without artifice or agenda. Don't compromise yourself to belong. It won't be worth the price. So definitely an interesting message there. Kind of rough readings for you guys the past couple months because I think last month there was unrequited love. Now we have this, but I do have at least a feeling on the surface that this could just be energies playing out as we have those rough eclipse energies playing out this month, and things will start to settle for you guys soon. And maybe this is even what you're saying, what it's saying too, as far as, initially you might be in that disappointment energy, but with time you actually start to enjoy being single. And quite frankly, that's usually when things start to come your way, when you're in that energy of just being happy with yourself. So, we'll wrap up there, guys, and I'll talk to you all next month. Happy New Year. Bye.